I'll say, you say. 7 years ago. Your turn.
Our fathers brought forth dedicated to the proposition that all men are created equal.
Now, we are engaged. I'll say those words and then you say it. We are met on a great battlefield of that war.
We have come to dedicate a portion of that field
As a final resting place for those here who gave their lives to the nation,
that the nation might live.
it is altogether fitting and proper that we should do this. Let me clarify how we'll do this third paragraph so we're on the same page. I will say it, and then you say the exact words back to me. Like I'll say, but in a larger sense. And then you'll say, but in a larger sense. Okay? But in a larger sense. Your turn.
But in a larger sense.
We cannot dedicate.
We cannot dedicate.
We cannot consecrate.
Cannot consecrate.
We cannot hollow this ground.
We cannot hallow this ground.
There are brave men,
The brave men,
living and dead,
living and dead,
who struggled here,
who struggled here,
have consecrated it,
have consecrated it
far above our power to add or detract.
far above our poor power to add or detract.
The world will little know,
The world will little know,
nor long remember,
nor long remember
what we say here,
what we say here,
but it can never forget
but it can never forget
what we done here.
what they did here.
Have thus far so notably advanced.
Have thus far so nobly advanced.
It is for us to be here dedicated
It is rather for us to be here dedicated
to the great task remaining above,
remaining before us,
that from these honored dead
that from these honored dead
we take increased devotion
we take increased devotion
to that cause
to that cause
for which they gave
for which they gave
the last full measure
the last full measure
of devotion,
of devotion,
that we highly resolve
that we highly resolve
that these dead
that these dead
have not died in vain,
shall not have died in vain,
that this nation
that this nation,
under God
under God,
shall have a new birth of freedom,
shall have a new birth of freedom,
and that the government of the people,
and that the government of the people,
by the people,
by the people,
for the people,
for the people,
shall not perish
shall not perish
from the earth. Can you see where the Holy Spirit's guided in His hand?
That's true.
And thank you. Now,
kind of got off track, so we did talk just about corruption and, just standing up for your rights, standing up for your rights and using, the, like you say, not religion, but God is your shield, and the Holy Spirit is your shield. It doesn't use truth. Go in there, use the truth, go in there with what you know, because you just can't, you got to be God's instrument. You got to be the messenger, you got to be His instrument. He can do it, but He needs you to do it. So that's kind of what you were getting at, and just to stop evil, to stop corruption, to stop things like that. So through the people, the people's got to be the instrument through the divine intervention.
very good. Sounds like John Adams there.
What our group talked about, we noticed that in both of these documents, the emphasis, I think the heart of both documents are the fact that, number one, that people are endowed by their creator, the creator being the big term there, with unalienable rights that among them, not all of them, but among them are life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And then to secure the rights, the governments are instituted, deriving their just power from the consent of the governed, which segues right into the end of the Gettysburg Address, where Abraham Lincoln said that this nation under God shall have a new birth of freedom, and that government of the people, by the people, and for the people shall not perish from the earth. Then from that, we segued over to our current culture, and we all agreed that it looked like this nation was definitely built and underpinned by God, by the hand of God. Does that sound like what we talked about?
And to see that life, gospel to life, life to gospel. We have mediums today. Way high percent of TV and internet today is 40% of our time is in front of a screen in a day. And that's just a tool. That's a what. How we use that what becomes who we are. And the beauty, when Marilyn spoke, it gives me a chance to compliment this behavior. You go to Marilyn's Facebook page, I'm not sure if I get the Catholic bulletin or a Christian bulletin on Facebook. So it is the who instead of the what. And it brings such joy because of how much we've become displaced in our society to see all the garbage that's on Facebook. And then you hit Marilyn's page and it says, like Sunday's gospel sermon coming up or something. And it's just such a joy to see how we can take a tool and use it valuable of creating the society that we want to come together. So thank you. And I wanted to introduce, when you got a chance to stand, I wanted to make that clear that when I say networking party, these are the people in your communities who do make a difference. Now, this is a good friend of mine here, and he'll explain your business too first when you get a chance to stand. Either one want to speak or mine? He would anyway. It was like,
I'd be speaking if she was standing up.
yeah. Stand and tell about yourself first, because we mentioned networking party.
I'm Michael Pratt, live north of Armada. We're right on the county line of St. Clair and Macomb. I farm for a living. We got 7 children, and only 2 still left at home. We were working on this Gettysburg Address thing, because just like when you read the Bible, there's some words in there that kind of lose you, and I think people don't stop and study that, in my view. So we looked up, we even talk about it, hollow. What's hollow really mean? So and I think we should probably do that more. I talk about this in other instances of even what we talked about with Kavanaugh and the shooting instances when you go back 30 years, how the meaning of words or actions and everything are so much different than today. So I always try to warn everybody, you gotta think about it in the time and place that it actually happened, not, that's why there's statute of limitations on even legal things, It's what they put this country through in the last couple of years drives me crazy, but
There's a few historical critics who will mention, and even in Dachau, Germany, if we don't review our past, we will not know where the future is heading.
Right.
The more you look into the past, the greater your future is. The more you look into the past, the greater your future is.
In the past, people protected this country for us.
Yeah.
That's what Oliver Brown means. They protected it for us.
well, tearing down these statues and everything they're doing because they don't want to remember something so inverted. I don't care if I disagree with them, it's still a figure of that time and something that happened.
He stood for something, whether he stood for something, whether it was right or wrong, he still did. He
Yeah.
got killed over it, so he
That's
stood his
right.
ground.
Yeah, no, and I try to appreciate all that stuff, but somehow we got to come back together as a country and start fixing that.
I wonder if we're like the silent majority though. I mean, what the media throws
They
at
buy
you,
it.
the rest of us not buying. The rest of us not buying. They make you think they were buying it.
But it does even detract even good Republicans
Oh, it
tend to
does.
get
It
drifted.
does, I know.
That's just some of the things that they'll say to me, because they all know where I stand, but I probably get more Democrats come to my place to tell me their point of view than anything else, and I don't really have a problem listening to
Right.
that point of view,
Exactly.
because I always want to understand, why do you think that way? They never change.
You know, truth is indestructible.
Correct.
And there's no statutes on
Yeah.
truth.
Amen.
And we act, God acts.
Yep.
Okay, so when we're talking about this whole evening, is phenomenal about the Holy Spirit,
Yep.
because I'm involved in that process now.
Yeah.
But remember that.
And remember-
Truth is indestructible.
Yep.
There's no statute.
And it's,
No matter how long it takes, always does come full
Yes,
circle.
it does, and it wins.
Yeah,
It
well-
doesn't seem like it at times, does it? But our job is to educate. Okay.
that's the way the truth works.
Yeah, there you go.
Okay, and we had some people who are friends of mine, have been influential in going out in the communities and being able to speak like this of who they are once again and not just their business. So that word today is info commercial, so bear with me and listen to some of my associates and friends in this networking party who have provided resources to put some of this together, and entertainment and food and all this great camaraderie.
You're pointing at me for entertainment?
It makes my jokes look good. Auto Stylers and RV in Marysville, Auto Stylers and RV. Black Hills, South Dakota, no. Black Hills, 24th Street, Port Huron. And he's somewhat of the flavor of Lee's auto. Lee passed away, and people in the community just knew who Lee was. He was determined, if a person, for the most part, if a car came into his place that day, he would fix it that day because he wanted the guy to go to work the next day. And it just came a part of who Lee is. But I'm talking about Black Hill's competitor at this time, and he's a friend of mine also. And they're not competitors. People get to know one another and they recommend each other back and forth often. I don't do that. Loxton does that. Check him out. You understand what I'm saying. Pete's Sport Man Cave, located in Marysville. And that new mall, Pete's Sanchez, he goes to St. Stephen's Parish, and you walk up to his store, you don't know if you're getting sports memorabilia or a hug from him as soon as you walk in. And it's just a great family, and they too donated to Right to Life some Lions packages for our banquet coming up on,
Next Thursday,
October 18th,
okay, at,
Alexander's in Marysville.
right by,
6:30 p.m.
there we go, right by
Right by the
Pete
Pete
Sports.
Sports
Okay. And creative expressions. When I walked in there, she had a very sore knee, and I gave her some Christian books and Catholic books. And this is when you give, you get. And so I walk in a couple days later, and I act like, hey Mom, I got you some flowers. But they actually came from the owner of Creative Expression. But I took credit for Kathy. Hey Mom, look what I brought you. So Creative Expressions has provided some resources also. And then Transnation Title Work, Pam Hall and some ladies who used to work at Caldwell Banker put together their own title company. And I think Denny has even addressed it. That group over there at the Title Nation Agency is really pretty sharp, aren't they? From your understanding. Okay. And then Lens Pool and Spa. And Denny, once again, when you get certain ages, you just kind of know these people. Oh yeah, Joe, I knew Len from 30 years ago. What a hard worker. Len's Pool and Spa in Lakeport. And then we have, Juan Garcia. And she runs and helps us with some Catholic study and Christian study at St. Edward's. And her husband is Dr. Garcia. And Beth has been a great friend with our sessions, and pro-life again, having a doctor in the community.
But the same